We've got a fun little problem today concerning coloring, but quickly I just need to give you a little bit of preparatory material to make sure everybody can understand. This is the number line. It's just one way of representing our beautiful set of real numbers. It has 0, it has the positive numbers, it has the negative numbers, it has irrational numbers like pi is right around there. It's a beautiful thing, and sometimes we denote this with a stylized R. This represents the real numbers. If we slice right through this number line with another real number line, then we're now looking at a grid of ordered pairs. For example, I can identify this point in the plane, in this space, as having the x or horizontal coordinate of 1 and the vertical or y coordinate of 1 as well. It's the point 1, 1. Since this two-dimensional plane, which is called the Cartesian plane, is made up of two number lines, we denote it like this, stylized r squared. You also need to know the word chromatic. Chromatic is a word meaning something like relating to or being produced by color. I'm drawing some points here that have many different colors. Here's an orange point. Don't you like that? Isn't that nice? Here's a green point. This point also has color. All of these points have different colors, but now I'm adding a few more red points. You can see there are 4 red points there. If I draw a circle around the green and pink point and call this a set of points, it has 2 different colors, so it's not what we would call monochromatic. This isn't a monochromatic set of points because it contains more than a single color. On the other hand, if I draw this set, which only contains red points, this set is monochromatic. It consists only of a single color. Alright, we are ready for the problem. And yes, I just realized, and no, it wasn't on purpose. Let's move on. This is a combinatorics problem from the classic book, A Walk Through Combinatorics. Suppose we color all integer points of r squared with one of 6 colors. So we know what r squared is. It's the Cartesian plane, the xy plane. It's got all of these points, and every pair of points that consists of integer coordinates, like 1, 1, 2, 4, -7, 8, they're all colored with one of 6 colors. It is our objective to prove that there is a rectangle with monochromatic vertices. Here's some graph paper which can represent the infinite expanse of r squared, the Cartesian plane. Every single one of these integer points, which we can just view as the intersections of the grid lines, all of those nice integer points have been colored one of 6 colors, and we need to prove that in this infinite expanse there exists some rectangle with monochromatic vertices that would look like this, a rectangle whose vertices all have the same color. How the heck do we do something like that? Well, what we need, as you may expect if you've done some combinatorics, is the pigeonhole principle. Here are 6 colors. Now, what's going to happen if I try to color a row of 7 points? Can I make those points all different colors? Well, of course not, because I only have 6. So at least 2 of the points will have the same color. Let's give it a try. So here's a row of 7 colored dots. When I got to the 7th dot, I ran out of distinct colors. So you can see that these 2 dots share a color. They're both purple. Now, it might look like these 2 share a color as well. At least it looks like it to me. This one's red, this one's orange. Try not to get confused. So these 2 dots have the same color. We knew that in a row of 7 dots, at least 2 would have to have the same color, because remember, the problem stated that all points were colored with just 6 colors. Now, I want you to imagine a 7 by 7 square where every integer point has been colored one of these 6 colors. You can imagine it. I'm going to go ahead and finish doing it. So here's my beautiful colored 7 by 7 square. Now here's a question for you. Are there infinitely many ways that we could have colored this 7 by 7 square with these 6 colors? Or are there only finitely many ways that we could have colored this 7 by 7 square? The answer, of course, is that there are only finitely many ways we could have done this. If we numbered the points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on, we'd have points 1 through 49, and every one of them could have one of 6 colors, so the total number of ways to color a square like this would be 6 to the power of 49. So imagine we had another 7 by 7 square stacked on top of this one. This other 7 by 7 square would have to be colored as well. Maybe it's colored the same way, it's probably colored some different way, but we could continue this stack up and up and up forever because we have all of R squared to work with. It's an infinite grid of points, and they all have some color. So we would just have an infinite stack of 7 by 7 squares here. Now obviously, if we have infinitely many 7 by 7 squares, and only finitely many ways to color them, then at some point there will have to be 2 squares that have the same color. Now, they might not have the same color as this one here. For example, it could be that every single other point in this column is colored red, in which case certainly no other 7 by 7 square in the column is colored like this one. But no matter what, there are infinitely many 7 by 7 squares in the column, and only finitely many ways to color them. So there have to be 2 squares somewhere that are colored the same. Now, if we just imagine that's this one here that we've already colored, and this one that we've conveniently sketched out above it, we would have the monochromatic rectangle that we need guaranteed, because we already know that every single row of 7 dots has to contain 2 dots of the same color, because there's 7 dots in a row and only 6 colors. For example, this row here has these 2 red dots of the same color. Since we're supposing that this is the square among all of those infinitely many squares, which happens to be colored the same way as this one, it would have to have those 2 red dots as well in the exact same position, at least relative to the square. So it would have a red dot there, and it would have a red dot there. We could, of course, say the same thing about the purple dots that are at the bottom of our original square. This square that's colored the same way would also have to have those purple dots in its corresponding position. And it is from here, of course, that you see we get our rectangle with monochromatic vertices. Of course, this single instance of squares colored the same, which have to exist, give us many examples of monochromatic rectangles. I've just highlighted 2 there, but that's how to solve the problem. Once more, the logic is, imagine one 7 by 7 colored square. Every single row has to have at least 2 dots of the same color, because there's 7 dots and only 6 colors, and then imagine the infinite column that does exist of colored 7 by 7 squares that go above and below this one. In that infinite column, there are infinitely many colored 7 by 7 squares, but only finitely many ways to color such a square, and so somewhere along the line we have to have at least 2 7 by 7 squares that have the same color. Then in those 2 squares that are colored the same way, just pick 2 dots that share a color in the same row in one square, and those same 2 dots will have to be represented in the square that's colored the same way, and thus we would have a rectangle with monochromatic vertices. So that's a fun little problem using one of combinatorics' most used principles, the pigeonhole principle. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and be sure to subscribe for more of the swankiest math videos on the internet.
From my fate, twisting to escape this. Cutting out my wrist if you can break it. Breaking in my past, I'm making it up fast. So slow down, give me the time so I can fake it. Embrace the tune of words and just how I say shit. And let me speak my poetry to your face. It's not intimate if you ain't listening. Not infinite if you ain't really into it.